Imagine your brain. It is not just a single, uniform entity. Instead, picture it as a vast, ancient city. This city has districts built in different epochs. Some are incredibly old foundational structures, others are more recent, shiny skyscrapers built upon those ancient stones. Each part serves a purpose. Each contributes to the bustling life of the metropolis within your skull. This complex organ, weighing only about 3 pounds, holds the legacy of billions of years of evolution. It is the command center for everything you think, feel, and do. Understanding its architecture is key to understanding ourselves. This journey into the mind is like exploring the deepest canyons of a newly discovered planet. This inner city, your brain, has a primary directive. That directive is survival. It has been honed by eons of trial and error. Every creature that ever lived and reproduced passed on a blueprint. This blueprint favored traits that helped it navigate its world. Our brains are the inheritors of this immense lineage of survivors. Deep within its structures lie ancient programs. These programs are designed to keep us safe, help us find resources, and encourage us to connect with others. These are not conscious choices, but powerful underlying currents. They shape our reactions long before our newer, rational brain parts can even process the information fully. Consider the sheer timescale. Life on Earth began around 3.8 billion years ago. Complex animal life emerged much later. Our own species, Homo sapiens, is a relative newcomer. Yet the foundational elements of our brain connect us to very early life forms. These ancient systems are robust, they are powerful. They have ensured the continuation of life through cataclysms and countless environmental shifts. They are the bedrock upon which our more sophisticated cognitive abilities are built. Without them, the higher functions we often associate with being human simply could not exist. They are the engine room of our existence. Therefore, to truly comprehend why we feel and act the way we do, we must look back. We must delve into these older, more fundamental layers of our being. It is here, in these ancient circuits, that we find the core emotional systems. These systems are not unique to humans. They are shared across many species, a testament to their evolutionary importance. They are the raw material of our emotional lives. Understanding them is like finding a Rosetta Stone for our own inner experiences. It allows us to decode the often mystifying signals that arise from deep within our own minds. This exploration is crucial for navigating our complex modern world. At the heart of our brain survival toolkit is a remarkable mechanism. Neuroscientist Jaak Panksepp identified this as the seeking system. Think of it as your brain's internal explorer, its relentless survival coach. This system is not about the pleasure of obtaining something. It is about the anticipation, the motivation, the drive to explore. It energizes us to move, to investigate, to learn, and to find the resources necessary for life. It is the force that compels a baby to reach for a new toy. It is the same force that drove ancient mariners across uncharted oceans in search of new lands. It is a fundamental forward-moving impulse. The seeking system is ancient. It is a core component of the mammalian brain, and its precursors exist even in simpler organisms. Its primary function is to encourage engagement with the world. When this system is active, we feel curious, interested, and motivated. It is a feeling of eager anticipation, a sense that something good or useful is just around the corner if we just keep looking. This system is fueled by the neurotransmitter dopamine. Dopamine is often misunderstood as a pleasure chemical. More accurately, it is a motivation chemical, driving us to pursue goals and rewards. It propels us toward the future. Imagine an early hominid on the savannah. The seeking system would have been crucial for survival. It would have driven them to search for food, water, shelter, and mates. It would have encouraged them to explore new territories, even with the inherent risks. Those individuals with a robust seeking system were more likely to find what they needed. They were more likely to survive and pass on their genes. This system, therefore, became deeply embedded in our neural architecture. It is a powerful engine that has shaped our evolutionary trajectory, pushing us to constantly interact with and learn from our environment. In our modern lives, the seeking system is still very much active. It drives our ambitions, our desire to learn new skills, and our pursuit of hobbies. It is what makes us click on an interesting headline or delve into a new research topic. When this system is healthily engaged, we feel alive and purposeful. However, it can also be hijacked or misdirected in the modern world. Understanding its nature is the first step towards harnessing its immense power for our well-being. It is the bedrock of our engagement with life itself, a constant hum of curiosity and forward momentum. The late Jaak Panksepp dedicated his life to understanding the emotional foundations of the mind. He proposed that mammals, including humans, share 7 primary emotional systems. These are not learned. They are innate, hardwired into our brains. These systems are seeking, which we have discussed. Then there is rage, the system that energizes us to fight back against frustration or threat. Fear, an equally crucial system, helps us avoid danger and learn from perilous situations. Lust, the system driving sexual desire and reproduction, is fundamental for the continuation of the species. These 4 are ancient and powerful motivators of behavior. Beyond these, Panksepp identified 3 more systems crucial for social mammals. Care is the system that underpins nurturing behavior, the drive to look after offspring and, by extension, others in our social group. This is the warmth of parental love, the empathy we feel for those in distress. Then there is panic grief, the system activated by separation, especially in young mammals from their caregivers. This system produces distress calls and feelings of profound sadness, aiming to restore connection. Finally, there is play. This system encourages joyful, rough-and-tumble interaction, crucial for learning social skills, physical coordination, and emotional regulation. These 7 systems are not abstract concepts. They have distinct neural pathways and neurochemical signatures within the brain. They are ancient tools evolved over millions of years to help animals survive and thrive. Think of them as the primary colors of our emotional palette. All the complex emotions we experience are combinations and shades of these fundamental drives. When we feel joy, it might be the play system activated. When we feel anxious, the fear system is likely at work. Understanding these core effects gives us a new lens through which to view our own feelings. These systems are deeply subcortical. This means they originate in older parts of the brain, below the neocortex, which is responsible for higher reasoning. This is why emotions can feel so powerful and sometimes overwhelming. They arise from ancient, powerful circuits that often operate faster than our conscious thought. They are the primal forces that shape our perceptions and motivate our actions. Recognizing their presence and their evolutionary purpose is the first step toward navigating the emotional Wild West within each of us. They are the fundamental building blocks of our inner universe. Section 4, Lost in the Digital Cosmos, Modernity's Strain on Primal Instincts. Our modern world is a very different place from the environments in which our brains evolved. The skyscrapers, the digital screens, the constant stream of information, these are novelties on an evolutionary timescale. Our ancient emotional systems, designed for survival on the savannah, are now trying to navigate this new artificial landscape. This mismatch can create significant strain. The seeking system, for instance, once drove us to find scarce resources. Now it can be endlessly triggered by the infinite scroll of social media or the constant pursuit of material possessions, often leading to a feeling of dissatisfaction rather than fulfillment. The fear system, designed to protect us from immediate physical threats like predators, is now often activated by more abstract anxieties. We worry about job security, social judgment, or the future. These are not saber-toothed tigers, but they can trigger the same physiological stress responses. Chronic activation of the fear system without a clear physical outlet or resolution can lead to emotional imbalances. It can manifest as chronic anxiety, panic disorders, or a pervasive sense of unease. Our bodies prepare for a fight or flight that never truly happens in the way it was designed to. Consider the impact on our play system. Children and even adults have fewer opportunities for unstructured physical play than in previous generations. Schedules are packed and leisure time is often spent passively consuming entertainment. The play system is vital for stress regulation, social bonding, and creativity. Its underuse can contribute to feelings of boredom, depression, and social awkwardness. Similarly, the panic grief system, designed to ensure social connection, can be triggered by the perceived social isolation that, paradoxically, can arise in our hyper-connected digital age. The nuances of real human connection are sometimes lost. Our rage system, meant for defending territory or resources, can be easily triggered by petty frustrations in traffic or online arguments. The care system might be overwhelmed by constant exposure to global suffering through news media, leading to compassion fatigue. The lust system is bombarded with unrealistic portrayals of relationships and sexuality. In essence, the modern environment often overstimulates some systems while undernourishing others. This creates a kind of emotional dysregulation where our ancient instincts struggle to find appropriate expression and balance in a world they were not built for. Section 5. The language of stars. How words reshaped our inner worlds. The evolution of language was a monumental leap for humankind. It is perhaps our species' most defining characteristic. Before complex language, communication was likely more akin to other primates, gestures, calls, and expressions. These convey immediate emotional states and simple intentions, but language allowed for something far more profound. It allowed us to share abstract ideas, to plan complex cooperative activities, and to transmit knowledge across generations. It enabled the creation of culture, stories, myths, and laws. It literally reshaped our inner and outer worlds. Psychologically, language provided a new layer of processing for our ancient emotional systems. We could now name our feelings, we could reflect on them, we could discuss them with others. This capacity for symbolic representation allowed for a more nuanced understanding and regulation of emotions. Instead of just raw fear, we could articulate worries about specific future events. Instead of just raw rage, we could express frustration through debate or complaint. Language gave us tools to manage the primal energies bubbling up from our older brain structures, offering a way to mediate between instinct and reason. However, language also brought its own complexities. It allowed for deception on a grander scale. It enabled the creation of ideologies that could fuel conflict. It could also be used to suppress or deny genuine emotional experiences. Sometimes the words we use to describe our feelings can be inadequate or misleading. We might say "I'm fine" when our fear or panic grief systems are highly activated. This disconnect between our inner state and our linguistic expression can create internal conflict and misunderstanding. The ability to label an emotion does not always mean we fully understand or accept its message from our ancient core. Furthermore, the narratives we construct with language, our personal stories, our cultural beliefs, profoundly shape how we interpret and respond to emotional triggers. If our culture teaches us that certain emotions are bad or weak, we might try to suppress them, often with detrimental effects. Language allows us to create complex inner models of the world and our place in it. These models in turn influence how our primal emotional systems are engaged or inhibited. Thus, the evolution of language is a double-edged sword, a powerful tool for understanding and connection, but also a potential source of new psychological complexities. Section 6. From Scales to Sentience, Reptilian Roots and Mammalian Minds. To truly appreciate the human emotional landscape, we must look at our evolutionary lineage. Our brains are not built from scratch, they are layered with newer systems built upon older ones. The most ancient part of our brain, often called the reptilian brain in simplified models, governs basic survival functions. Think of a lizard. Its concerns are immediate: finding food, avoiding predators, regulating body temperature, and basic territorial defense. Its emotional repertoire is limited, focused on these core survival imperatives. It experiences something akin to fear, and perhaps a primitive rage. Mammals, however, took a different evolutionary path. With the rise of mammals came new social complexities and new emotional capacities. Panksepp's care system, for instance, is a hallmark of mammalian evolution. Reptiles typically lay eggs and leave their young to fend for themselves. Mammals invest heavily in their offspring, nurturing them, feeding them, and protecting them. This requires a powerful emotional system to motivate such costly behavior. Similarly, the play system is highly developed in mammals, especially young ones. This playful interaction is crucial for learning social rules and physical skills, something less emphasized in most reptilian life. The panic grief system, which responds to separation distress, is also a distinctly mammalian trait linked to the prolonged dependence of young mammals on their caregivers. The distress calls of a separated puppy or kitten are designed to elicit a care response from the parent. These social emotions, care, play, panic, and grief, are built upon the older foundations of seeking, rage, and fear. But they add a rich new dimension to the inner lives of mammals. They enable complex social bonds, cooperation, and group living, which have been key to mammalian success. Humans, as mammals, inherit all of these systems. Our reptilian core is still there, driving basic survival instincts. But overlaid upon it are these rich mammalian emotional circuits. And then, uniquely, humans have a highly developed neocortex, allowing for language, abstract thought, and complex planning. This creates a fascinating interplay. Our ancient reptilian reflexes can still be triggered. Our mammalian social emotions guide our relationships, and our human cortex tries to make sense of it all. Understanding this layered evolutionary heritage helps us appreciate the complexity and, at times, the contradictory nature of our own feelings and behaviors. Section 7. Realigning our inner orbit, navigating modern emotional storms. The mismatch between our ancient emotional systems and the pressures of the modern world can contribute to a range of emotional and psychological challenges. Conditions like attention deficit disorder or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder might, in some interpretations, be linked to a dysregulation of the seeking system. A mind constantly searching for novelty and stimulation, but struggling to focus in environments that demand sustained, narrow attention could reflect this. Similarly, anxiety disorders can be seen as an overactive fear system, constantly scanning for threats that are often abstract or non-physical in our contemporary lives. Depression, too, can be viewed through this evolutionary lens. It might involve a blunted seeking system, leading to a loss of motivation and interest. It could also be linked to an overactive panic grief system, perhaps triggered by social isolation or loss, leading to profound sadness and despair. The modern emphasis on individual achievement and constant productivity can put immense strain on these systems, pushing them out of balance. Recognizing that these conditions may have roots in our fundamental emotional architecture rather than simply being character flaws can foster greater compassion and more effective approaches to well-being. So how can we improve our seeking system and find greater emotional harmony? One key is to provide it with healthy, meaningful outlets. Engaging in activities that spark genuine curiosity and offer a sense of purpose can nourish the seeking system. This could be learning a new skill, pursuing a creative hobby, spending time in nature, or contributing to a cause we care about. Mindfulness practices can also be invaluable. By learning to observe our thoughts and emotions without immediate judgment, we can create a space between stimulus and response, allowing our more reflective brain regions to modulate the impulses from our ancient emotional centers. Ultimately, navigating the emotional Wild West of our inner lives is about understanding and befriending these ancient parts of ourselves. It is not about suppressing our emotions, but about learning to listen to what they are telling us. By recognizing the evolutionary purpose of systems like seeking, fear, and play, we can make more conscious choices about how we engage with the world. We can strive to create environments and lifestyles that better align with our innate needs. There is hope in this understanding. By unlocking this deeper awareness, this metaphorical third eye into our own minds, we can reclaim a sense of emotional balance and navigate the complexities of modern life with greater wisdom and compassion.